Club football returns this weekend, but we've got some transfer news to get stuck into here on Friday, the 28th of March 2025. That's the date, yeah, boom. So let's talk about it. Rangers are linked with forward Maccabi Tel Aviv, an Israeli forward, Turgeman, 21 years of age. We'll talk about that first of all, of course. SPFL preview show and all that stuff later, but his current market value is €4 million. And let's talk about his stats for this season. So, of course, he's played 35 games, 17 goals, and 6 assists, which, that equates to 23 goal contributions in 35 games. He's actually played quite a load of games across the Europa League and its qualifying campaigns. He's played 11 games, 4 goals, and 3 assists, so that's no bad. In the Israeli top flight, 22 games, 13 goals, 2 assists, a goal every 115 minutes. So that's pretty good. That's real good. That's some good shit, pal. That's the sort of stuff that I would want at Rangers. Decent stats, but I mean, how much are we going to have to pay for this guy? I mean, his market value's never been higher. He has a fully capped international, 7 caps. So, again, obviously, the arrival of this player wouldn't be taken well by some in Scotland, but here, it is what it is, and we gotta move on from that. It's the same with Daba being signed to Aberdeen. Not one person is at fault for their country, alright? And it's the same with Russia and Ukraine, Israel, Palestine. See the people having a go at like one individual person for their country's mistakes. It's actually pathetic. Alright, it's actually embarrassing. So let's just reel that in right here, right now. Because fog football, we speak the truth. Other people just fucking hide behind it. But we'll talk about it right here nonetheless. And you know what? The guy's a good footballer, then fucking on to Glasgow and on to Rangers and lay the smack down. But yeah, stats look good to me. And hopefully he can do stuff for Rangers. But again, I'd rather get Cerny over the line. I haven't really talked too much about that deal. 5.5 million. I did make a video on it on my channel about Cerny. Hopefully we can get that over the line. With this takeover for the 49ers, I don't think 5.5 million is a ridiculous amount of money. But at the same time, we're not really used to paying those fees. But when you're paying 4 million for absolute duds, I would expect us to pay, just 1.5 million extra for a guy that's actually really good. You know what I mean? It's like, just don't understand it if Rangers let Cerny slip through their fingers, because it doesn't make much sense to me, considering how good the guy has been. It's not an unknown. It's not some guy there's a bit of hype around. It's a guy that's literally done it for us. And he's one of those guys where if you took his goals and assists at the team, we'd absolutely be hanging on for dear life. God knows where we'd be. And that's across the board, man, in Europe and domestically. Not that domestically we're doing great, but we'd be doing a million times worse if he wasn't here. So you've got to bear that in mind. But yeah, moving on. Hibs, according to Football Insider, are interested in Cheltenham Town winger Jordan Thomas. So, yeah, never heard of him in my puff. He's 23. But Hibs, I think they've had a history of really poor recruitment. I'll say this, though. I think the last 2 windows, they've definitely not been as bad as previous Hibs windows. Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, a couple of months ago, it did look as bad, but Davy Gray has obviously turned it around at Hibs, and fair play to Hibs for actually sticking by their legend, because I think most clubs would have sacked the manager. And again, there is, it's one of the fine examples these days of where not sacking the manager ain't the only answer. But let's be honest, if Davy Gray wasn't a Hibs legend, I think he'd have been long gone. But fair play to him. There's also talk about Nectar Triantis staying at Easter Road past his loan deal from Sunderland. Tell you what, good player. I've seen him in the flesh. He does look a pretty good player, and a player that you would like Hibs fans would like to keep him, especially if they get into Europe next season, which I think most of us are probably expecting them to do. But that is where we're going to leave it, guys. There's not really an awful lot of transfer news the day. Rangers, though, linked with the Israeli international Dor Turgeman, so I wouldn't mind him if we can get him for cheap enough. Decent stats across the board, and he's young, only born in 2003, So, yeah, good deal. Till next time here on Fog Football. Peace.